Wow. Beautiful prayer. Okay, today we are talking about the path to joy and the spiritual journey. The first thing that I was thinking I would want to talk about, and again, if you're on Instagram, you won't see these diagrams. There's nothing I can do to help you. But if you're on YouTube or Periscope, which appears to be very blurry, my apologies, I don't know how to help that. We are going to be talking about this spiritual path. And the first thing I want to talk about is this pesky little spiral. And this pesky spiral appears whenever you are on the spiritual journey and you're starting to feel Elaine, thank you, Uni Bless. And Abigail, I saw your double donation and I wanted to thank you for that. You guys are all so amazing. Okay, let's turn this on. Okay, so this is the pesky spiral that appears when you're on the spiritual journey. You have two options in life. Really, I mean, does free will exist? Only in this way. There's only one way that free will exists. And it is in this choice. You can choose to go up, or you can choose to go down. You can't see that. Here we go. These are your two options. Here, I'm going to do it again. Over on this side so that we can have more space. Okay, in life, you have two options. You can choose to go up, or you can choose to go down. What constitutes going up or down? What are these interdimensional points that you can choose to travel upon? Well, if you follow your heart, you follow joy, you follow truth, you follow light, you follow happiness, you follow whim, you follow authenticity, you follow light, all of these things, that is the upward arrow. That's how you get to higher and higher realms. If you choose negativity, if you choose darkness, if you choose depression, if you choose sadness, if you choose harm, then you are choosing the path of negativity. You're choosing the lower path. Your opportunity in life is to choose either one. Nobody can choose it for you. Nothing in your life, no matter how many blessings or curses you experience in your life, nobody can actually choose this for you. You could be a rich person. You could be a poor person. You could have illness. You could have health. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. This is still your choice. You can be born into a variety of different ways and places and options and opportunities, but this is still your choice. Everybody has this choice of how to choose which kinds of thoughts and energy they want to cultivate, no matter their surroundings, no matter their circumstances. So every day and every way, you have these thoughts that you go up or down. And depending on which direction you're going, it doesn't matter so much for what I'm going to be talking about. You will find yourself experiencing the same things over and over and over again. And you're going to be like, what the hell is going on? So, for instance, when I was on my spiritual journey, which I still am, we all are on a spiritual journey, but as I was ascending spiritually, I would say, let's say when I was when I was a teenager, I said, I'm here, right? This is where I am. I'm saying, I don't like how society is operating. I feel kind of bad about that. So I go about my life and I choose up or down. And then the next year, maybe I say, again, I get this strong feeling. It's the exact same feeling, but from a different perspective. I say, I don't like society. And I'm back here again. And I say, well, I just felt that last year. It's usually about a year-long cycle, but sometimes it's different amounts of time. I look at my journal and I say, wow, last year I felt the exact same thing. And then maybe that bums me out and I keep following this spiral downward. The thing is, once you get to the bottom of this spiral, you can only go so low, because below this is death and nothingness. There's really only so far you can go until you're just like in the abyss. So the abyss is just a stagnancy. It's just a nothingness. And before you even arrive, and you can only stay there for so long anyway, because it's not life. That's not how life works. I believe that if I had died when I tried to kill myself, that I would have just stayed in this abyss for about, time isn't real after you're not alive, but for a time, and my brain still, my thoughts, my soul would still be a lot. You can't actually die. You can go into a place of nothingness, but you are still something. So it's not really natural to stay in a place of nothingness, even if that's something you think you really want. Once you get there, you're going to be there for however long until you're like bored. And then you're going to be like, actually, I'm bored and I want something. And then I think from that place, I would have found another sort of realm of incarnation. Once you get down to this bottom place, a lot of times people just spiral and spiral and spiral. So it's like this sort of like cyclical, this is cyclical negative thinking. We can think about it like this. You're just going around and around, and you have the same thought and the same thought and the same thought and the same thought, round and around and around. You have the same thought here. You have the same thought here, and then you have the same thought here, and then you have the same thought here, and then you have the same thought here, and you just keep going around and around and around. And this is anxiety, and this is depression, and this is just not a fun time. And this location right here is right here, right above the abyss. So this is not a good place to be. I don't recommend it. If you have cyclical negative thoughts, you're going to notice this spiraling energy, this spiraling nature. But what's really interesting is that this spiraling nature continues as you are ascending. So let's say that, okay, now I've reversed my thoughts. I'm now on this path of joy. I'm now on this path of light and love. I'm going upward in my energy. I'm following whim, and I'm rejecting and transmuting my negative thoughts into positive ones. And I'm spiraling upwards and upwards. And then I get to a place where I'm like, oh, again, I'm upset with society. Okay, well, and then I come up again. Oh, again, I'm upset with society. So whatever your thoughts are, whatever your feelings are, you're going to feel them again and again and again in different ways and different qualities. These are aspects of our soul. These are aspects of who we are that interact with the world depending on our vantage point. So this thought and this thought are the same, but they're different depending on my vantage point, depending on my energy. So, now maybe I'm here and I say, wow, I'm upset with society, but I feel like I'm empowered. I feel like I have more ability to change things. I feel like I can create art that actually resonates with people. So America's Sweetheart is that. But I've had all these things where I was like a conspiracy theorist, and I was, upset about the Illuminati and all these other things, where it's like and this is just one example. You're going to have these in your own life. They're all going to be different for you. So thank you, Meryl. Loki Meryl, welcome. The abyss sounds bad. Can drugs pull you out of the abyss? No, I don't think so. I think drugs can help you go toward the abyss. This abyss, this is like after death. Like death is above the abyss. The abyss is the place you choose to go if after you die you want less. Drugs can help you go up or down. It depends on how you use them. It depends on what you feel when you're high. It depends on what kind of energy you are bringing to the drug experience. So let's talk about the path to joy. The path to joy is something that I came up with. Yeah, we're going to call this the spiral of Ascension. Why isn't my space bar? Okay. Here's the path to joy. You're just going to have to live with me not being on screen for a minute. Okay, so the path to joy is a journey that we all take as we ascend into our reality. The first step on the path to joy is cynicism into hopefulness. What this means is that you look around the world. You actually have to start on cynicism. Thank you. Thank you all for being here with me. So grateful. Anybody who wants to start ascending this spiral, the spiral I just showed, if you want to go up that spiral, this is the path that you take. Starting with cynicism actually makes sense because cynicism is an awareness. If you don't have that awareness, you will not be someone asked a trippy question. They said, does this cult make me truly happy or just less sad? I don't understand how they're different. All right, so cynicism is an awareness. We need cynicism. We need to look around and say, this isn't right. This isn't good. Obviously, our government is doing horrible things. Obviously, there are terrible people in the world. Obviously, children are not being cared for. Obviously, we don't have clean water. We don't have good food. We don't have the opportunity to do what we want with our lives. We don't have, yes, we need cynicism. That's the first step. If we don't have that awareness, we're not going to do anything to change it. So we need cynicism. Cynicism is the first step. But we change cynicism on the path to joy into hopefulness. So changing cynicism into hopefulness is simple. It's simply the adjustment of a few words. So when you're cynical, you say, oh, the world is bad. And when you're hopeful, you say, oh, the world is bad, but I believe it can get better. And when you change cynicism into hopefulness, you begin your journey on the path to joy, because then you start actually having hope, and hope is our guiding light. Hope is our guiding principle. If we do not have hope, we cannot progress. So cynicism is important, essential. Hopefulness is essential, important. Both are absolutely important. The second part of the path to joy is attention. And attention, like we say in Camp Church, we say attention is a commodity. You are paying attention to me. You are paying attention to this video. We pay attention. That is a form of payment. So what does it mean to have attention? Attention is the power of creation and the power of focus. We have magical abilities through our consciousness, and the world is made of consciousness. So when we focus our attention on certain things, it actually causes that thing to bloom and grow. We have to cultivate our attention to focus on the things that we wish to see happening. If we focus our attention on negative things, we only feed those negative things. That is not to say that there isn't attention that needs to be given to negativity, which we will get to. That's something that I added on this chart in the most recent edition of Fundamentals of Unicult, which I recommend you buy. Unicult supply code. Second printed. Okay, so attention requires your focus, your divine focus. Your consciousness is divinity. Many people think of it as God's eyes seeing, we're God's sensors. However you think of it, your attention has the power to change your reality. What you choose to focus your attention on changes your reality. So if you're on the path to joy and you start paying attention to things that you wish to see bloom and thrive, you say, I want to see community. So you focus on community. You say, I want to see healthy food. So you focus on gardening. You say, I want to see happiness. So you focus on things that make you happy. Attention is so important. I was driving the other day and I had too much coffee, and I was thinking, I'm so stressed out. And then immediately, and I've actually trained my brain now, which I'm very proud of myself for doing. I've actually trained my brain to respond in a cyclical manner of responding to stress as surrender. Say, well, if it's in the divine plan, I'll get there on time. Well, if it's in the divine, it's all going to be in divine plan. It's all going to be in divine timing. It's all going to be in divinity. Whenever I feel like I don't have control over a situation, because I don't, instead of stressing or worrying, I put my attention on the divine. And I say, well, I did what I could. Now it's up to the divine. And you just let go. And I've now trained my brain to have that as a natural cyclical response to stress, which is such a relief. Highly recommend it. Takes years. But if you constantly focus your attention on that surrender, and I don't mean, for your whole life, I just mean for the things that you can't control, you will have profound success and a lot less stress. 3, truth. What is truth? What is truth? We have been taught in society to value physical, external, societal truths more than our own individual truth. Part of the indoctrination of growing up as a child is to reject your personal truth and to conform into societal truth. If you have an imaginary friend, you better believe that's not true, and you better stop talking to them because it's not true. Because it's not physical, it's not social. This ignoring this overlooking of personal truth is detrimental not only to us as individuals, but to larger society and to our culture as a whole. When we don't honor the internal individual truth that we each have, we suffer. And I mean that both in the sense that your internal truth has just as much value as societal or physical truth. And I mean that also in the sense that other people's internal truth has just as much value as societal or physical truth, even if you don't see it. So if someone else has a truth, becoming famous is a great one. Someone says, I want to be famous. I believe I'm going to be famous. Everyone around them says, okay, it's pretty hard. It's pretty competitive. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out. And they try to shut your version of truth down. Trying to shut your version of truth out of this is all in the book, yeah. Fundamentals of Unicult. This is in the chapter called The Path to Joy. The Path to Joy. So this step in the path to joy is about understanding your own personal truth and validating it, and realizing and recognizing that not everybody has your version of truth, and that's okay. We don't need to force. This is the whole problem, is we've been forced into versions of reality that we do not abide by. And so we have to take the higher ground and not force other people into our versions of reality. We get to say, this is my truth, you have your truth, and we can harmonize. How do we harmonize? Let's use our brains. Let's think about it. For just a couple minutes, it's not that hard. Let's find the root cause of things we believe in, and let's harmonize. So what is truth for you? What is true to your heart? If you had the life that you wished you had, if you were the person that you wished you could be, if you had the confidence or the talent or the whatever you long for, if you long for something, that is because you deserve it. If you long for something, that is because you deserve it. And if you're longing for another person, that can be problematic because it doesn't mean that you necessarily deserve that person, because that person has their own version of truth. But if you long for someone or something, think about what it represents. If I'm in love with someone and I'm longing for them, but they don't want to date me, then I have to say, okay, well, that's their version of truth. I get that. I respect that. What does this person represent to me? I think that this person represents understanding. I think that this person represents closeness. I think that this person represents me having value. If this person loved me, I would feel valued. I would feel loved. So you take that thing as a symbol and you break it down to the more realistic, more tangible truths of what the energy is that you're actually seeking, and that you deserve. Maybe you're not. My mom said to me one time, she said, in my next life, I want to be Lindsay Sterling. I said, do you want to be a dubstep violinist? She said, no, I want to be Lindsay Sterling. It's like me. I'm not going to say she can't be that person next time around. I don't know how time works. I don't know how reincarnation works. Maybe anyone who wants to be Lindsay Sterling can be Lindsay Sterling. But what I would say that she actually deserves is whatever that is, whatever space that is occupying in her mind. This form of expression and art that she resonates with, my mom, right? And she would want to be able to express herself in that way, I think is what she was going for. So when you long for something, you deserve it. Maybe not the exact thing. Maybe it's not possible to have the exact thing, but figure out what the fundamental feelings are that you want, and then you deserve that, absolutely. And you can have that. Okay, step 4. This is a new edition, transmutation. This is through my work with Kuan Yin. If you are at a place where you feel like you understand spiritual concepts, you feel like you're on the path to joy, but you're still getting triggered and you're having a hard time staying positive, or for me, what happened to me is that I created two aspects of myself where I had this shadow side of myself that was still feeling pain and hurt, and I just ignored it. And I just said, only positive matters. And I just said, if I focus on positivity, then I will be happy. But I kept getting triggered. And when you get triggered, you slip out of your positive into your negative, and then you're trapped in that negative place. If you find that you are still getting triggered, this Arise technique, which I have invented through my work with Kuan Yin. So Kuan Yin is my friend. She's a healer. She does a program called Catharsis. You can find her on Instagram. If you're looking for a healer to work with to help you with your triggers, I cannot recommend Kuan Yin enough. Honestly, I have never been helped by anyone more than I have been helped by Kuan Yin. Okay, let's see this Arise thing. So when you're going through transmutation, what does this mean? Transmutation is the idea that you have energy that is still negative. You have a shadow side of yourself. You have things that trigger you. You have aspects of yourself that you're ashamed about. This is shadow work, and we call this in Unicult, we call this transmutation. Arise are the steps that you can take to overcome this. Assure you are safe. So let's say you're being triggered. This is what you do. Assure you're safe. Set boundaries if needed. If you're in an argument with someone, you say, and you're so upset and you're triggered and you're shaking, you have to say, I need a minute. And you focus on these things, okay? Assure you're safe. Set boundaries if needed. I need a minute. That's setting boundaries. I need to go in this room for a minute. Set boundaries. I can't talk to you for a while. Set boundaries. When you're being triggered, it's okay to set boundaries. Realize your emotions are valid. If I got into a fight once with someone, I've gotten into lots of fights. Let's just say I have been in fights. And sometimes nothing obvious will trigger me. And I don't have this experience anymore because I've done sufficient amounts of work. But since I have BPD, I'm exceptionally sensitive emotionally. So in the past, I would have a fight with somebody and I would get mad at somebody for something that no one else would agree is wrong. For instance, putting like a certain food with another food. Including a food with another food. And for me, that was a trigger. And I would get upset and I would say, why did you put corn in this? How could you do that? And I would be so upset. Well, in my perspective, I would feel so embarrassed afterwards because I would say, well, I was triggered and I acted like a crazy person yelling at my partner for adding corn to our dinner when he didn't even know, and that's not even a big deal. And I would diminish my trigger and I would say, wow, I'm an idiot. I need to get with the program. Wow, I really need to actually stop being a crazy bitch. That doesn't help anything. That's repression and it actually fuels things. So you need to realize your emotions are valid. And the way that we do that is by the next step, and that's investigating the root cause of the pain. What this means is that when you are triggered by something, whether or not it seems ridiculous or not, your pain is valid. And the reason why it's valid is because it's coming from a valid place. And usually the easiest way to see that it's coming from a valid place is to try to remember the first time that you felt that feeling. So for me, I'm thinking, I'm so mad that this person put corn in our burritos. And then I'm thinking, hang on, I need to set my boundaries. I need to think about this for a minute. I'm safe. It's just corn. But my emotions are valid. When is the first time I felt like someone tricked me? What is the root cause of this? Wow, I feel like they don't care about me because I feel like they didn't know that I don't like corn. This is not true, but I'm just using this as an example, okay? I feel like they don't love me. I feel like they're not caring about me. And then you think back, when is What's the root cause of this? What is the root feeling? Why did I feel so triggered? What is this standing in for? I feel like they don't care about me. I feel like they don't know me. I feel like they want me to suffer. They're doing this on purpose to make me suffer. It's like, wow, those are really extreme feelings. When have I first felt that? Oh, when I was a child. And I had this experience where someone really did try to trick me and hoped that I suffered. That's a valid cause of a pain. And maybe this experience of it wasn't something that necessarily deserved that kind of reaction, but my reaction was valid because it harkens back to a real situation that I never acknowledged or healed. How is the pain serving you? When we talk about letting go of addiction, we talk about letting go of negative cyclical thinking, we talk about letting go of old paradigms, we have to see how our value judgments are working. If we value getting high on an addictive drug, we're going to keep getting high on an addictive drug. Sometimes people value illness because it provides a sense of care, of community care that they wouldn't otherwise get, that they do deserve. Sometimes, like when I feel like I'm mad that somebody put this, when you look at it, it's like, oh, my anger, my trigger, my response is trying to protect me. I'm trying to say, hey, I'm not okay with that. I'm angry. I'm going to yell. I'm going to try to protect myself because I don't feel safe. So it's helping me feel safe. There's a good thing it's serving me. Okay, so can I feel safe without it? So when you're ready to let go of that value, you embrace something higher. You allow the energy of something higher to come into your reality, and you allow the energy of something higher to guide you. And you can pray, and you can channel, and you can go into meditation, and you can have visualization practices. It doesn't matter how you allow something higher to come into your reality, but by allowing something higher to come into your reality, you have a replacement for this pain. So you say, wow, no, I'm divinely protected and I will never be in a situation like I was as a kid again. Or whatever else. Okay, so that's the arise, that's transmutation. Transmutation, again, is a new concept translated from the teachings of Kuan Yin. If you want to work with an incredible spiritual coach, Kuan Yin, I recommend. Okay, creation. Creation is the cure to consumption. Consumption is essential and important. You need to eat. You need to consume. There's nothing wrong with consumption. It's a beautiful, holy thing. But we are disconnected from the things that we consume. We no longer have a direct connection. It used to be your friends and family helped build your house. Your community members, your neighbor built your chairs. Your neighbor wove your clothes. The animals that the fiber came from were your friends. Our communities have been disbanded and reformed digitally, which is great. But we have lost the connection to the things that we consume, as far as them being created artistically, as far as them being created by people we know and love. And so in Unicult, we focus our energy and our attention on creation because consumption is already built into our world very easily. But as we create, as we take our hand, as we try our hand at more and more creative endeavors, we find that we have more of a capability to change and transform this world into one that we deserve to live in. That can be anything from coloring a coloring page to creating your entire reality with your thoughts. It can be building a company. It can be literally anything that you want to do. It can be painting, singing. You can come up with a new language. Whatever you're called to do. Creation is the cure to consumption, and we want everyone to have some form of creative output in order to manifest the divine into this realm. The last step on the path to joy, and please know that as you go along the path to joy, it's not like, oh, in 2012, I was in cynicism and hopefulness. And in 2013, I was in attention. In 2014, I was in truth. It's not like that. It's like that spiral. You're going to jump between these things. You're going to have an ability to focus on some of them easier than others. You're going to think you're done with something and it's going to come back to you. That's okay. It's not a straight shot path. Time and dedication is just the idea that you have patience for yourself. You root yourself in your goals and you acknowledge that Earth is a slow computer and you have patience for yourself and for your progress. Know that you have inevitable success. If you have trouble remembering that you have inevitable success, you can purchase socks and wear them on your feet that I created. I think mine are in the wash. But they're great socks. And they say on them, inevitable success. And you can wear them when you're feeling down, when you're feeling low. Announcements. We're going to Area 51. We have a few people who have not yet put their deposit down, but who say they're going to. So I'm sort of holding those spots for them. But we have 2 spots available that no one has even begun to claim. We might have more spots open up if people don't put their deposits down. So we're going to Area 51. The thing is that we are going to be safe. We're going to have fun. I believe it's going to turn into sort of a festival energy. And we have an amazing, incredible space. There's very limited comfortable lodging in this area because it's in the middle of nowhere. But we secured a really lovely unit that has several different rooms, a full kitchen, and it's going to be an amazing place to stay. We have air conditioning. We're going to be very comfortable. They are also clearing out 30 acres of space for campers and tents. So when we think about the blessings that Unicult has been given in this case, we can be very grateful. The retreat is going to be on September 20th, 21st, the night of September 20th, the night of September 21st through the 23rd. And it includes food. And it's best if you book with a friend. So message me about the details of the situation. And then I believe it's just going to be like such a cool and happening time. I'm going to do a lot of different, I'm going to do like, not a retreat, but like meditations and practices. And I'm going to have some classes and things like that are going to be open to the public. But if you're on the retreat with me, you'll get into them for free. And I might even be performing my music. None of this has been sorted out completely, but it is going to be an amazing time. So if you're interested in going to Area 51 and you want to go with Unicult, yeah, we're going to document. I mean, everything's documented, isn't it? If you're interested in coming to Area 51 with Unicult, let me know. I can talk to you about the details about that. It's going to be our first retreat. It's going to be historic in that sense. And I have seen people already talking about going to Area 51 next year. So I think this is going to be a recurring thing. And I think it's going to be pretty iconic to be there the first year that this sort of festival energy happens. Announcements. Shop at Unicult Supply Co. If you want to become a devoted member and you're already an official member, you can do that. Just let me know. Yeah, we want peace too. Better place and may be able to consider going. Pray that's where the universe leads me. Max, that would be so amazing. And if you can't go, like, we will be connected. We'll send everybody. I mean, the service is going to be kind of limited, but we'll record as much and stream as much as we can. Isn't she cute? The squirrel tried to wake her up this morning. She has this friend who's a squirrel. And it was like out the window, just like chattering, trying to wake us up. It's like, go away. Okay. Spirit of Uni, thank you for blessing us and having this beautiful cam church. I hope that these words reached everyone and that they can benefit from them. We pray that everyone has an amazing, incredible week and has a blessed day, today especially. And we bless all the members of Unicult and hope to see you again next week. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for shopping at Unicult Supply Co. Thank you for your attention. Definitely bring animal onesies to Area 51. Absolutely. When is the shop going to be updated with the new goodies and stickers? Hopefully today. Hopefully today. I made this deal with an angel about cleaning my house, so that's my number one priority. I don't want to let that literal angel down. Don't want to let you literal angels down either. It's on my list. Uni, bless.